hello. My name is Joel, and let's rant and rave about my favorite absurd game series ever. It's called Earth Defense Force. Oh, the background is completely broken now. But anyways, the idea is that here is a ranger. He's a guy with a gun. This is a girl with a jetpack and guns. This is a guy with a backpack and, well, vehicles and airstrikes. And here's a guy with too many guns. Seriously, he can carry up to 4 at the same time. Like a walking personalized mecha suit. And of course, you can edit equipment of these creatures. And boy, is there a lot of equipment to go around. And it gets more and more absurd the more you play. Ooh, Thunder Crossbow. Yeah, that's it. And you have, for example, these plasma cores are in. Of course, you're gonna adjust armor and change the color. And change models. You know, who the hell designs a flight suit without pants? As you know, Japan. But I think this one is the coolest one, though. Anyway, so then you pick a mission. And boy, is there a lot of missions. Right. Probably take a better. Let's see if we take a beer rapier. As you can see here, each mission have 5 difficulties. Easy, normal, hard, hardest, and inferno. And different modifications. But in the end, it doesn't matter too much. But so yeah, so jetpack right here is gun do's, and then of course you can. And of course, the goal of the game is kill everything and don't die. And in order to level up, you need to collect traits. Like these. This is armor, this is health. And yeah, the game has no problem ragdolling you around like the tool you are. And if you have, you know, arachnophobia, well, don't touch this title ever. As a mainstay is giant spiders. And boy, are they big. You get a house-sized spiders. As you know, why not? So the clue with the wing diver is that you can dash around. It's a hyper flexible, but it is energy required. Energy dependent, I mean. So in this mission, for example, well, you're flying around fighting robots. And they blow up nicely. So Sandlot has always, the creators of this game, has always moved to their own whistle, so some parts they are very very progressive in regards to technology. And in how enemies act and react. In other parts, they are completely batshit useless insane. Because let's say the radar, for example. It has no north and south. There is no mini-map, and you can't really divide it into grids. So you can't really deal with that shit. Only way you can give orders is by poking things like so. It is, not idle at all. Oh, look at weapon crate. Hmm. And the voice acting is all over the place, and but luckily they have done one little thing. They have made the mission smaller, or rather, small. No, I mean, shorter. So yeah, this is the. So this is the wing air raider. It comes with a lot of. For example, we have giant mecha, not so giant mecha, rocket launcher tanks, our APC, tank that squirts, a tank that could be part of a like a movie, adult entertainment movie on Cornhub. Yeah, bombers. Like heavy bomber phobos. Now shooter capsules, lots of drones. Cruise missiles. Yeah, some more drones. Drones. Let's see, for example, I take. This metal shot ring and then go. And of course, each difficulty scales with. Scales a lot when it comes to. And of course, you see these enemies on this city street. No, you don't. And your supposed operational team They are kinda useless, overly dramatic, and kinda crap. Also at their job. And they are quick to dismiss stuff as nonsensical, despite Earth being invaded by giant frigging aliens that can tell them as a teleportation ship. Oh no, it's protecting its weak spot. Yeah, the commander of the operation is not very good at his job. So another very neat feature is that you can actually mount ledges. Yes, you can mount ledges, and of course, if I die, I'm gonna lose like what 50% of all of the pickups. So of course it is being the ranger, rolling, rolling, rolling. Yeah, just turning down the volume a bit. Also, here, take a rapid fire cannon. And lock on some drones. The fact that you go with impossibilities with an alien invasion and frigging super robot enemies running around, huh? We are infantry, bright and strong. We gonna defeat you with this, with the song. Oh yeah, you will also notice that depending on the mission and difficulty, it will quickly devolve into bullet hell. And the only way to avoid damage, well, is to not be in the path of the shooting. These NPCs, they are somewhat useful. Somewhat. But the same thing can be said for helicopters. It's somewhat useful. If not for the fact that the basic controls doesn't include a descent button. Who the hell designs a helicopter without a descent and home that lets it hover automatically and can descend and ascend? To run out, I have to hold down the button, but not too much. As you can tell, also no, I just have to wait for it to manually ascend a bit. So, well, helicopters are great fun and all. It's kind of useless for most aerial operations. Also, no, if you jump out of it in mid-air like this, Oh, it could be the mod is working. No, it's coming down eventually. Luckily, the breed disappears after a while. Yeah, that's sad that NPCs are not completely useless. It's just that I only know two things: run and gun. And ironically enough, a lot of the AI has better pattern movement than the actual, soldiers on the ground. But there's some big ass aliens that actually know how to climb buildings, take cover, and give orders, and somewhat be synchronized in how they act and react. They act, so some of the enemies act like Call of Duty soldiers, while my soldiers tend to act like lemmings, the video game kind, not the real life kind. As you know, very few, if any, creature alive wants to tries to get himself killed. Oh yeah. Of course, this is a game that is designed to be 4 players complementing each other. But due to the nature of the game, there's also absolutely there is friendly fire, and if you don't communicate properly with your airstrikes, you're gonna blow the schnitzel out of your allies. Luckily, you can revive them. It is very well ready to strike again. Yeah, and each of the weapon types have its. The cooldown weapons have their own support crew with unique voice lines. Oh yeah, another thing the higher difficulties also add is is different enemies, enemy types, like gold ones. Oh, and increase also increase, how much damage they actually do. And yeah, the only way to unlock a new weapon without some sort of modding you also collect these green boxes before you finish up the level. And the higher the difficulty and the level, the higher the number on the box will be. And they will eventually upgrade. So you go from a 1-star to 5-star, and then it becomes a star to use. And blow up this one, can blow up that one, yes. And that beacon missed. Boom. You see it's locked on, and voila. It's all but junk. And yeah, white box is a health. Red is more health, but you need to complete the level in order for the bonus to apply. Or if you're on the lowest difficulty, you retain everything you collected even if you die. And these things, well, I keep summoning Shiesel. So I just need to go under and aim straight up. And yeah. I think the game is long, but the missions are short, and the several difficulties. It does increase longevity, but to be fair though, if you complete easy, the normal, you will get. It will register easiest, and easy as well as for medals. So of course, so now you can play through all the missions with 4 different characters with up to 4 players. And depending on the loadout, you have distinct loadouts, distinct playstyles. But sometimes you don't have the range to reach something that's far away. And the fastest way is always to just roll with it. Due to this being very low level, right, you can see that, yeah, I got some upgrades to stars, but I didn't get any good stuff. So the ranger, he sprints around like a fool. And the fencer as well. Have deflective shields, big cannons, more big cannons. Yeah, and includes giant hammers. Because it's hammer time. Oh yeah, jackhammer. Let's see, why don't we take a hand cannon? Oh, like mortal. Sure, whatever. Oh yeah. Another thing I forgot to mention is how difficulty also also affects how much damage you do to allies. And yeah, and due to a couple of really nice changes. The, this dude can now actually dash if you dash and jump and whatnot to be more mobile than ever before. And yeah, some weapons have lock-on capabilities. But they don't reload as long as you keep the holding. It just doesn't reload. So yeah, let's blow some shit out of these frogs, these French frogs. Waiter, do you have frog legs? Could you jump over? Could you jump over and get me some refills? Yeah. But yeah, the dashing. Oh, the ranger is just bog standard. Run around and dash around. Here's what I mean with see the enemy is actually taking cover. It's surprisingly annoying to deal with. Oh, there went a strategically disarmed for a little bit. Oh yeah, some enemies can actually grab and bring you to new heights. Oh yeah, did I mention that you can quickly be overwhelmed or overrun if you have the bad equipment? Because this is a horde shooter. You have to fight hordes. The volley is awesome. You need to know how the equipment works that you don't know until you actually try it out. So then we have this one. Let's see, Minion Blast. Take a flamethrower, grenade launcher, stampede, healing apparatus, no. Sniper rifles, shotguns, rifles. Guara, Guara. Blow up a doll for, attracting enemies. Turrets, bombs, and whatnot. Of course, you could put some armor equipment or a vehicle. But the designer of this game, like I said earlier, they are living in their own little reality. So, you have a bike. Which has to be ferried in by airlift. It's very efficient like that. Oh, wait. So a bike goes fast, but you don't really have much in the way of control. But on the other hand, you can strap it full of bombs. If you never thought the driving in GTA was bad, well, this is certainly better than the original one that kept swerving to the left. So essentially, bikes requires you to actually, stop accelerating at points. The DLC for the game is also very great. It has so many. There's so many cool levels and unique enemies and more absurdity. In fact, that's one of the things I would really praise the game for is how many new enemy types there is to encounter. And you can see it, I really could use some damn cameras moving. So we notice there's one little shotguns. They take a long bit of time to reload. They're good, but with certain weapons, it's just balanced. No, of course, the DLC has a bit of an issue, though. There is a handful of missions that have the they were. I don't know what the hell they've done, but it just doesn't work quite as intended. And yeah, they really haven't put in any thoughts on to the camera all the time. Do you need to hold it down? Is that it? There we go. There's the Sarah gun activated. Wait, did it activate? No. It's a bit. Can be a bit. No, not can be. It is sometimes a bit janky. Both in frame rate and once you have squids blowing up the screen with special attacks. But nothing a little slaughter can't fix. But if I were to just throw this out and this out, and then you suddenly have automated turrets that will shoot at everything. And if there's nothing to shoot at, well, I will keep shooting until they're empty. As God forbid you put in a saving measure on these things. And yeah, the ranger can sprint like mad. And his special ability is to roll through terrain. Oh, look, they have flying information, but they're just outside of turret range. So, by the time they are capable of reaching, and you will notice that, well, these little the turrets are good, yes, but they're also a bit unreliable. At least they have removed, for the most part, friendly fire from the turrets. And they take up a support slot, so you can have 2 guns and a turret. Yeah, it is. This is difficult. Difficulty is severely diminished due to the levels and damage output of my weapons, and of course, just because this is hard, but it just makes it a bit more Hmm. Of course, you can see how many attacks they do, and that scale, the damage and its severity depends on difficulty. And this is a skill-based game. So, if you don't have the skill to move out of the way, you die. You die. Hmm. So yeah, the ranger, his main ability is being awesome and running. Browser likes a running gun. Oh, I reached 1000 health with the ranger. And you see, oh, self-propelled railgun, slaughter, different slaughter, Vulcan hammer up. And so, if that is not enough, right? The base game has at least 100 missions. Then it comes to DLC with even more missions. But here, before we end this video here, let's see. See, Exgleipnir. Right, and then we go to, let's see. And I would take. It's gonna highlight what the difficulty has to do. And yeah, just to give you a heads up if you're arachnophobic. I still die fairly easy if you have a high enough damage output, but they are faster. More ferocious, or at least they should be. These used to be a lot worse in earlier games, because they had the collision detection were completely off junk on the threads escorting out. Of course, the wing diver is a glass cannon, that's for sure. And yeah, speaking of the rain had 1000 health. I have 675. Yeah, there's not a lot to write home about now, is it? You see, no, they're a lot more ferocious. Now this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the spiders being a menace. And these are the small ones. There are bigger ones, there are silver ones, there are gold ones, and some brown ones. Yeah. That's the difference between difficulties. Yeah, so you have a wall climbing mecha, for example, but that one is kind of that is very unreliable. Helicopters, they work, but can be a bit unreliable. A huge captain. Assault aircraft. So for some reason, the design of this game, it doesn't really have any camera smoothing when you run over terrain. But yeah, most of the time, you will see the camera is a bit jittery. Oh, and you will also notice that the NPCs run around, routing a lot of random voice lines and crap. They're slightly overdramatic, unhinged, and very Hollywood style intelligence level on them. So yeah, one of the big changes about this boy is his ability to, drones. Lots and lots of drones instead of using his stupid limpets to attach then detonate manually. They were not bad, but just sticking a drone on someone is so much more satisfying. Of course, the game is very fun with want to put the plot through. So there isn't really any way to mute all of the chatter from the plot that gets muted, that muffles everything else. Yeah. So you probably noticed the thing in how The weapon equipment you put out has a has a lot to do with how efficient. So, for example, if you have high-speed multicopter, mortar, iconic. Horrible attack aircraft. Yes. So, just because, spiders are so nice, cute, and cuddly. Oh, and yeah, here's the civilians. The NPCs are kind. They're kind of useless. It is a set piece more than anything else. And realize, oh, this rapid fire cannon, it has shit cooldown. Or should I say, a reload. So, here. So, here is one of the big changes on this character, though, is that portable aircraft. Though they don't always tell the whole story about how these. How they work. Oh, for example, I shoot a capsule. Okay, now I should have used that. And so let's give that. I had. So there was some person who at some point decided, Oculus said, "No, there's no strategy in EDF." Yeah, how about that? No, there is. Yeah, for example, these machine gun drones. Some of them have beneficial patterns. Others are, well, there's a reliability. But you're gonna treat different groups of these little buggers. And you realize a shooter capsule. It didn't work as intended. Yes. Or rather, they were fairly unreliable. Might as well just equip this one again. Or a patroller. Well, let's try with the patroller, right? Let's try this roller thing here. So, yeah, the patroller is basically a Roomba on. Is what it's a Doomba. So, let's see how these actually. Yes, much better. They drive in a straight line and then return once they reach the end of the path. You see, you can never really quite tell how good a equipment feels and acts until you try. No, let's see if these actually reaches any enemy. I should, in theory. Hmm. The, so yeah, you can just go. Yeah. So the great thing with all these zones is these drone airstrikes is that they will do their own thing, then return. So they move in a select pattern, and then the moment they touches the player again, you can use them again. So yeah, it's totally legit strategy to just use three different types of bombs. I use three different drones, right? I don't know what the logic behind their behavior is. Anyways, I should do what I should have done in the first place. Hmm. But still, yeah, that's EDF in a nutshell. The it's a janky mess, but it's fun. And aside from this series, there are very few, if any, like this. It's just about I kind of suck at polish.